today, we ended up getting a beta level cap increase for the Call of Duty World War II beta, and as such, we ended up getting a couple of things, once again, more so revealed to us than what we had yesterday whenever the level cap was only 20. Now, bumping it up only 5 levels gave us very few new things to look at, but it gave us new things nonetheless. Now, today, I don't want to talk about those things in particular, but I really want to still take a look at the future, what else we can see coming here if there is perhaps another level increase in the next day and a half or so, or if they extend the beta out until Monday or Tuesday, which is a possibility, but I won't put everything on that saying that it will happen. But if it does, once again, there's still the possibility we could see it go up to maybe 30, 35 in that level cap. But that said, there is still quite a bit that we saw at E3 that we've yet to really see detailed to us within the World War II beta. So that said, though while a lot of the stuff is low level tier compared to maybe some of the stuff we saw at E3, I want to take a look at and compare some of the things that we still have yet to see and give you guys a little bit of a heads up for what could be coming either later on in the beta or just later down the line in general for the full release of the game. So that said, in the current build of Call of Duty World War II, the beta that we have right now, we're just a little bit over halfway through the entire levels of a Prestige. Now, Michael Condrey back in June ended up replying to somebody on Twitter right before E3 was happening about how excited he was to see multiplayer and debut it to the world, to which Condrey actually gave us the amount of Prestiges and the number of levels that we'll be seeing come November for the multiplayer aspect of World War II, and he said 55 out of 10. So obviously throwing the hype in there that he's super excited to showcase it for everybody, but also giving that little backwards hint of 55 levels, 10 Prestiges. So with that said, now 25 levels into the beta, we're just a little over half of what we've seen, and we've seen a decent amount, but in all actuality, there's still a lot to go. Combing through some of my E3 footage, I saw a bunch of things both in the ways of unlockables in terms of basic training, streaks, as well as weaponry that have yet to be detailed and showcased in the beta. So that said, that's what we're gonna really be primarily focusing on here at this. Now, of course, some of these could be changed around, some, like the basic training in particular, could be built in a little bit within the divisions themselves now, or they could have been removed entirely because there actually are, and this will be in a different video, probably bringing back the 5 things that changed, but there were a few changes that were made from what we've seen now, actually bringing it down a little bit in the beta compared to what we saw at E3. So there might be some cases of some of these not even making it at all. But that said, let's start out with the weaponry, because that's one thing that everybody really wants to focus on, I think, because of course that's your primary focus in a first-person shooter. What gun are you going to be using in that create a class system? What are you going to be using to end up getting these gameplays? Now, from the E3 build of the game, we're still missing the BAR, Browning Automatic Rifle, or the BAR, whatever you want to pronounce it as, the M1928 Thompson, the MP40, the Shovel Melee, the Panzerschreck, the M1903 Sniper Rifle, the Kar98K Sniper Rifle, and the pistol of the M712 Mauser. Now, is it possible some of these things were just renamed or something like that, in which we already may have seen some different variations of them? Sure, but I don't think that's the case at all. And of course, it definitely fits the amount of things that we will necessarily see in terms of each classification. The M1928 Thompson and the MP40 will bring us to a total of 6 SMGs within World War II. The Browning Automatic Rifle will bring that total that we know of right now to 4 assault rifles, which again, still leaves room for more. And then we'll end up having potentially 4 different snipers with the M1903 and the Kar98, and a couple other pistols, one such being the M712 Mauser. Now, switching away a little bit from the weaponry, there's still a little bit and a decent amount of streaks that we've yet to see as well that we saw at E3, which presumably I didn't think was the full list of streaks, but now looking at what we have through about halfway, it makes sense if this was the full streak list back in E3. Now, assuming they didn't cut any of these or anything like that, but we're still missing the counter recon aircraft, the flamethrower, the mortar strike, the flak guns, the carpet bombing, and the ball turret gunner. Now, it also is possible that we see a K9 unit of some sorts and potentially a nuke, maybe game ending, maybe Moab style, but one that may potentially be there because we've also seen Sledgehammer's other title, that being Advanced Warfare, do a combination system where we had kill streaks count towards those medals of the Vicious, the 30 kill streak there, but then also gun kills give you that actual extra reward, that hidden score streak. Now, that's something that could potentially be a nuke, and the K9 unit was something that Condrey hinted at towards on Twitter a long while ago, but again, that still kind of fills out a full list of streaks here that we could see in the full game. Now, on top of that, the other thing that is rank progression based is a bunch of different basic trainings, and this is one where I'm starting to question just how many we'll either have or if there are some that are cut, because right now there are 11 as of rank 25 in the beta. There's 11 basic trainings in the beta, and if we compare that now to what we saw at E3, we're still missing a handful of them, that being a basic training called Steady, Hunker, Smoked, Phantom, Undercover, Ordnance, Scoped, and Loaded. Now, a lot of these also kind of counter the meta of some different divisions, whereas, say, Phantom is something that you are not detectable by radar, which is something that is built in with the Mountain division. So, therefore, it's kind of like a crossover where you wouldn't necessarily use that with the Mountain division, but if you wanted to run a little bit of a Ghost style in terms of your play style, that's something you could throw it on, say, an Airborne or an Infantry class, and so on and so forth. So these ones kind of end up crossing over, but it is something in which those still are missing from what we saw at E3. Whether or not they're actually cut, once again, that's possible, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. There are some changes that have been made from the division skill sets since E3, but more so toning it down to where we saw more included within the division skill sets at E3 than what we do now in the beta. So again, that kind of just leads to more stuff being on the horizon, if at all possible. But I guess that's where we're at right now, but there is still quite a bit of content left, as you'll see, that we can get with the full ranks, or at least ranking up just a little bit more here. Whether or not that happens, whether or not they extend the beta and increase the level cap a little bit more, that's something that time will tell. But that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. That's where we're gonna wrap it up. I want to let you guys know about this stuff, just keep you guys conscious on all of it. But let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys want to see the most here out of what we've yet to see already? Do you want to see something like the MP40 or the Thompson? Do you want to see one of the new snipers? Do you want to see a nuke maybe? Whatever it may be, let me know down there in the comment section down below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you guys did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Call of Duty World War II. We're going to be killing it here with the beta over the next couple of days and into next weekend as well for weekend 2. So if any of this stuff interests you, make sure you stick it right here up on the channel. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, asking me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But all that said and out of the way, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. Mine's been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.